guys, thanks so much for taking a look at my testimony today. I was in the New Age, and I realised that I was greatly deceived, and I was never an atheist because of certain experiences I'd had as a child, but neither did I believe in the Christian worldview. And I was very much perpetuating this idea of energy, frequencies, vibration. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you exactly what I was into in the New Age, and I'm going to explain how I was deceived. And what I want to then move on to is how Jesus Christ revealed his truth to me, because that day was quite an incredible day. It was like being held in the eye of a storm in a calm place, and I could see the world revolving around me. And I could just see it. I could see the mechanics of this world. And from then I fell into a very short depression because, you know, this world, I saw it for what it was, and it was a very scary experience. But, you know, the Lord held me. He held me so tightly. And he confirmed to me again and again and again that he is the truth, through things that happened in my life beyond coincidence. So what I'm going to do is take you through what I was doing, and then I'm going to talk about that day when he showed his truth to me. So guys, I'm sat in my kitchen at my PC, and I just want to talk through this table. So this is the ideology that I bought into. I believe that there is a chakra system, and that these chakras related to certain notes and frequencies. I also believe that if you chanted the bija sounds there at the end on the right, that you could balance your chakras. And how all this translates into reality, into practice, is I was doing something called tuning fork therapy. And the idea behind that is that you use certain tuning forks on the body, and as we can see in the bottom left there, this is a picture of my old chakra cleansing tuning forks, and I would apply the tuning fork on the body, the stem, after tapping the nozzle end, which is the weighted end, with a soft mallet to cause a vibration in the body, with the whole idea that I was releasing some sort of energy blockage, and this is how this works. This is the ideology that I was buying into and practicing. And so the idea is, the main deception here is that you are somehow manifesting negative energy that shows up in your body, caused by, you know, some sort of spiritual problem. So if a client came to me and they said, oh, I'm having problems speaking out in public, I would assume that they would have an issue with the throat chakra, and I would apply the tuning fork in that area with the intention that I'm moving or removing some sort of blockage. And this expanded out. You know, I was trying to build my own little empire, my own little business around all of this idea. And I was getting into gong therapy and Tibetan bowls and all sorts of stuff. And I actually got into shamanic drumming with the idea of journeying and getting into meditative states. And I had a particular issue with that on one occasion where I was in a drumming circle, facilitating a drumming circle, and I lost control. I felt I was no longer the person drumming, that there was something inside me drumming, and it wasn't me, it was somebody else. A very scary experience. Yeah, and on my travels doing gong baths and sound baths and, you know, all sorts of things like that, I've met people that are just simply looking for fellowship. They're looking for the truth. We've been designed to accept the one and only true God. So guys, I hope that's given you an overview of the sort of stuff I was into. I don't really want to give too much of a platform to it, really, if I'm honest. What I will say is that I was moving around in these New Age circles, and I had a shamanic drumming course which I was supposed to teach, booked in with another organisation in this particular year that I woke up, and it was booked in for the winter months. And in the summer of this particular year, I was starting to really question whether or not I'd been deceived. And the reason why I was doing that was because I was going to all sorts of workshops, spiritual festivals and all the rest of it. And everywhere I went, there'd be this reoccurring conversation that took place with people talking about this idea that we're heading towards this great awakening. I suppose like a bit of a concept like the age of Aquarius. And guys, something didn't rest easy with me with that, because I would come home, I would put on the TV, and I'd see all these news reports of, you know, really awful stories about children committing suicide before the age of 14, or world politics, and to be honest, it just didn't make sense. It didn't add up. It just didn't add up. And I looked into the history of the idea of this Great Awakening, and I could see that throughout time, throughout history, it's just a lie that's been remarketed and remarketed. And, you know, it may have different packages, but it's just the same old lie. Yeah, so I started to look at this concept of end times that the Christians were talking about. And that got me into biblical prophecy, but it also made me pay attention to how the Bible has been validated in history. And I had no idea, absolutely no idea at all, that it was so interwoven with history. So when I discovered that, that was another indicator to me that we're dealing with the truth. And guys, I had that shamanic drumming course booked in to start off in September and to continue through the winter months. And it really had gone past the etiquette in event management to cancel on this organisation. And they were adamant that they wanted me to do it. And, you know, they were very, very positive. But of course, I now knew all of it was a pack of lies. But I just felt I couldn't get out of it. And what happened was, I prayed to Jesus Christ, and I said, Jesus Christ, if you are the ultimate truth, because even at that stage, you know, there was a little voice in the back of my head going, oh yeah, but it might not be true, it might not be true. Even though I could see all of this evidence, there was that little voice. And that's why I called out to him, because I was just getting into this real strange mindset. And I cried out to Jesus Christ and I said, if you are the ultimate truth, get me out of this shamanic drumming course and I will come to you. And guys, what happened next was my phone buzzed. And it was that organisation to cancel on me. He answered. He answered. And guys, it was like the world had been switched off that day for me. And I could no longer hear the noise. This is what this felt like. And I could see for the very first time the true horror of the world. but I had to face up to things. Because he'd proved his truth to me, I really needed to look at the sin in my life. And guys, I had been so brainwashed by this world that I couldn't trust myself to actually understand how I'd sinned. So there was no point going to the foot of the cross to show Jesus Christ my sins so he could forgive me, because I didn't even know what I was bringing to the cross. So that's when I started to analyze my sins in my life. And, I came up with this sin grid. And I noticed that not only had I sinned against myself, people that I knew, I'd sinned against people that I don't know, just through indirect action. And I just saw that there was just sin everywhere. Sin was just everywhere. Yeah, I was very much a child of this world, really. And we have to ask ourselves, what kind of people are we? Are we the people that project back to God the image of the world? Or are we people that project back to God his own image? Oh, yeah, so this is my story. And, I came to Jesus Christ. I know he's the truth. So guys, I wanted to finish on a high note, really. The year 2019 has been a really difficult year for me in so many ways. But one of the things that has really been beautiful in all of this mess, what has been beautiful has been this thirst for Scripture. And I don't think it's coming from me, because I was never somebody that would sit down and read big, thick books. It just wasn't my style. And I have noticed that I love being in Scripture. I love going through my Bible. And, that's something that out of all of this, I really cling on to. And as you walk with Christ, you see him working in your life. And again, that is evidence, and you see it. And when you see it, it's a wonderful experience, because it really confirms, even if you have doubts, everybody has doubts. You'll get doubts every now and then, or you'll get doubts about whether or not you're saved. I went through that phase, and it was horrible. But, you overcome it. You overcome it with prayer, Scripture, and when you see the Lord working in your life, even the most little things, it's just such a wonderful experience. And I just wanted to offer hope to people, really, that, you know, are going through the struggle of that first year of being, you know, of being a Christian, because it can be difficult, especially if you've woken up in a life that is, you know, just looks like the world, which I have. You know, my life is such a mess still, and I have to sort so much out. But, you know, you take it to prayer, keep in scripture, ask the Lord to guide you. He always does. He always does. And he gave me so many more signs. You know, perhaps I'll do another video about some of those, because they're just so wonderful. I was having doubts one day. I was doubting whether I was saved. And I was stood outside Huddersfield railway station. And a random woman came up to me, and basically the first thing she said was, "Are you a Christian?" And I really do believe that the Lord somehow worked in my life that day, because the people that only ever come up to me at railway stations are people asking for money or asking for directions. And there were so many other things, you know, too many to go through here. I've kept a list, actually, a diary. But yeah, perhaps I'll talk about those another day. But yeah, when you see him working in your life, that is, I mean, it's just evidence. It's amazing. It truly is amazing. But yeah, I just wanted to finish on a high note, really, because it has been a difficult year. We're on the 23rd of December 2019 when I'm putting this together, you see. So I'm going to get it out, I think, this evening, get it up on YouTube. But yeah, I just wish everybody all the best, and I just hope that people will see that Jesus Christ is the truth, because he is. Okay, take care, folks. God bless. Bye-bye.